Hi everyone, as promised, this is an intro into the related study for year one. So getting straight down to it, very clearly what I want to get across to all of you, what the related study is and how we structure it and how we make it a success. Something that you can use next year and something that you can submit for part of your A-level. It's worth 20% of your coursework, so it's really important you do a good job on this. Get you practicing the skills that you'll need to either use this as a base or as it is as an essay, or maybe develop on from this. We'll see how you get on with this and certainly practice those skills. So we're going to look at really the structure of what it is and what the essay is, and the sort of titles that you can select to take forward. Starting off, it's really important if you can have a look under the VLE, you have a look at essay related study year one. It's at the top of the screen, and a lot of these different topics will have hyperlinks, so if you hover over them, you'll be able to click on them and it'll take you to various different online resources. Please make use of that will maybe get your ideas started. Okay. So you've got 4 different ways that you can approach this. You can look at the 4 different sorts of titles that you could select. The most straightforward one would be you focusing upon formal features. So, for example, you look at colour. One student previously looked at the colour red and looked at different ways that artists interpreted and used colour red within artwork. Different analysis of artwork. Secondly, you could look at, for example, concept-based titles, so depictions of hell, for instance, or sexuality. Comparison-based could be a comparison between Turner and Constable and the competition they had as artists, and as how they bounced ideas against off one another, or it could be 2 contrasting artists. Say, for example, feminism, looking at feminism and contrasting, comparing representation, looking at artists such as Jenny Saville and Cindy Sherman. Art movement, or an art movement, you could look at, for example, Cubism and different artists' approach to that, and it could be Picasso through to more modern interpretations of that, and how that's evolved over time. Next, some examples of essays. So it could be that you're looking at, for example, the uncomfortable art of distortion, and then a couple of artists that you're looking at. It could be a genre, for example, Memento Mori, how death and mortality is presented in that. Some ideas on there. Read those through and see what you think. Topic should be something that you're genuinely interested in, something personal, something that you're passionate about, so that it maintains and keeps your interest. As long as you have a clear topic, really, the title can evolve over time. Focus, it needs to be really about a theme or a subject, or as I said, something a formal element. Be wary of it not having a direction or a focus. For example, if you're just looking at a piece of abstract art or the whole of art history and not having a reason for looking at it or specific points that you make, especially from the beginning, it just becomes too big. It looks at the whole of art history. It's more than a PhD. You need to actually refine it and keep it related to something that you're looking at in your practical work, but not the same. It must be separate. So make sure that you're not just looking at, for example, an abstract piece of artwork without any connection to any artists. There needs to be some sort of connection that you come up with. Lack of direction is a common weakness and something that we need to avoid. So if we get that sorted from the beginning, it should help. Consider looking at online tours, galleries, things that you've seen in the past, artwork that you've seen in the past that you can talk about. The title is some examples there. So it should be the essence. That's something that we can come back to if you get stuck on that. You could have 2 or 3 working titles. So try and come up with this structure now. Okay? So whilst the structure of each essay can be slightly different, there's key things that we've got to look at, and that's what we'll do. So I'm giving you this form to get back to me and Sally by the 8th, and here's a series of things that you could look at, a short list of artists, ideas, themes that you could be looking at, various things that you could explore, gallery work or location of work that you might be interested in, possible themes, and really your personal interest. It's so